15 years back, if I was standing here, the water of this pond would have been at least still here. But today, this is the situation of the leftover Sampangi Ramnagar Lake. This is a place right next to the Kantirva Stadium. And those who are from Bangalore, who live here, they must have seen this pond throughout their life, because this is one of the most iconic places that used to be during the heydays of Bengaluru. But today, this is the situation of this particular pond. It has been dried up. The water levels were at least till that stone where you can see the reflection, till the root of that particular tree. But today, this is how the pond has been left. Now, this is the story of Bengaluru. This is how the city has been reeling with the water crisis that it has been facing. This is one of the worst crises that the city has been facing. It's not like the city never had a drought situation in the past, but the situation this time is very grim, because if we go as per the data that has been given to us by the government, there are 13,900 borewells in the city, out of which 6,900 have dried up. And this is not the statement given by me, but the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, D.K. Shiv Kumar. Now, if this is the situation of the borewells, you can clearly understand that the groundwater in Karnataka is also depleting to a very massive level. Now, the Kaveri Basin, which accounts to 60% of the city's supply, has also dried up because of the scanty rainfall that the city has received in the last year. And because of the lack of rainfall, the government had also declared close to 230 districts as drought-prone districts. And these districts have combined together and put the situation of Bengaluru in a grim level. Now, according to officials, the city, Bengaluru used to have close to 144 lakes in the 90s. Today, we are left with hardly 40 or 50 lakes. Some are even saying that we only have 5 to 6 major lakes. The rest are just small ponds that have a little bit of water that is left. So this is the situation of most of the lakes in Bengaluru. But when we talk about the green cover, now the green cover was something that Bangalore was proud of. If we all remember, in the 90s, Bangalore was known as the garden city. And we had a green cover of close to 80%, but today we have hardly have 6% of green cover in the city, and that has become the main reason for the intensity of heat that we see in Bangalore. Now, at this point of time, I'm just doing a comparison of how Bangalore used to be in the 90s and how Bangalore is today. Now, in the 90s, at this particular point of time, the temperature of Bangalore would have been around 28, 29, because that's how pleasant the city used to be. But if we check the current temperature of Bengaluru, let me just Google it in front of you. Bangalore temperature. It is 34 degrees as of now, and by 3 to 4 o'clock, there is a tendency of it going to 37% from 1 p.m. onwards. That means in another 6 minutes, the same temperature can rise up to 37 degrees. So you can imagine the increase in the temperature also gives you an indication at the level at which we have done the unplanned urbanization of this particular city. Now, the trees that have been cut unplanned, from 80% of the green cover to 4% is a very grim situation for the city of Bengaluru. And Bangalore has always been a city that is proud of its lake, proud of its trees. But all these things, if they are depleting and if there is a scarcity of these things, it clearly puts the city into a very worrisome situation. Now, this particular lake also, or pond also, this is the leftover of the Sampangi Ramnagar Lake. Now, right behind this, if my camera person can show you, that is the indoor Kantirva Stadium. Next to that is the outdoor Kantirva Stadium. That stadium was built in 1946. The foundation of that was built at that point of time. And the construction of the indoor and outdoor happened in the 90s. And this particular stadium is built over a lake. And this is the leftover of that particular lake that we are talking about, the Sampangi Ramnagar Lake. This is the leftover of that entire lake that used to be here at one point of time. Like this, there are hundreds of lakes that the city has lost because of this urbanization. And if this urbanization continues in the same level, then we will lose almost everything that has water in the city. Now, if we go according to what the data that the government has given us and the situation in the ways in which they are planning, we've now been told that a team of IIT is actually working with the lakes, and they are trying to see whether the lake water can be turned into drinking water, because there is a lack of drinking water also in the situation. Recently, the National Green Tribunal also snubbed the BWSSB, saying that when the city has such a grim situation of water, how come BWSSB is supplying water to IPL matches that are happening in the city? Close to 3 matches have happened in this city, and the KSCA, the Karnataka State Cricket Association, needs close to 75,000 litres of water to conduct matches in the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Now, if 75,000 litres of water are going in a time when there is a scarcity of water, clearly gives you the priorities of the government. Areas like Whitefield, RR Nagar, especially the IT corridor, the outskirts of Bengaluru, have already started feeling the pinch of the drought situation that is there in the city. Most of the places don't receive water for close to 3 days or 4 days. We did a report from Magdi Road, where the residents over there told us that at least in 3 days once they get water, and they get it for at least 1 hour. Now, if you get it for 1 hour, the intensity of the water also is low, because of which they are not able to store water, and they are storing waters in drums that they are buying, and they're keeping it outside their house. They have to depend on water tankers. At a situation like this, if close to 75,000 litres of water is supplied to IPL matches instead of giving it to the public, it gives you an idea about the priorities of the government. Now, it all remains to be seen how fast the government is able to curtail this issue from their side. The only thing that the people are receiving is notification and instruction on what they should do with the leftover water that is there. Now, the BWSSB has also put out notification saying that people should stop using drinking water for purposes like washing their vehicle, for gardening their trees, and for other maintenance purposes in the society. They should make sure that treated water has been used. But places like Kengeri and apartments in Kengeri, they don't even have easy availability of treated water. You have water tankers that are charging you exorbitant amount of money, making it seems impossible for an everyday person to afford these water tankers. Now, at a situation like this, it's very important for the government to make sure that they are able to curtail the situation before it blows out of proportion. Because if we continue to suffer the water scarcity issue that we have in Bengaluru, then this is how the situation of Bangalore is going to be. The water that was supposed to be till here at one point of time, or 15 years back, today has come down to this. I think it's high time that the government realizes that the city has a very big water crisis.